And there are some great clips that popped up in the last few days. So here is Mike Francesa. Did we cover this on the show? And if we did,
that one, no, we didn't.
I don't think so. Yeah.
So he talks about The Last Dance, that documentary about the Chicago Bulls that we brought up a few times, and here's his opinion.
So I thought it was pretty good. I thought overall, the storytelling in there was really good. The only thing I'd say is I think sometimes they went to great lengths to create a saga for every game, and that's hard to do because not every game's a saga. Some games are a saga. You had the saga of
a saga. This game is a saga.
I'll tell you, I don't like those saga games because they always won nothing, 2-1, 1-2, 2-0. You know, I don't like sagas. Sagas are always boring.
Do you think Mike Francesa has ever said the word nil?
Listen, what are you doing with the nil? It's a 0, okay? It's a 0.
Why do you put that line through the 0? Get that line out of there.
Well, I really don't. And another, they also got to do the 7 too. What are you doing? I mean, what are you doing? 7 or 0, make up your mind. Why there's 10 numbers, okay? Why are you crossing out 2 of them? Crossing out 2 of them? Why not put a line through an 8? Why not put a line through a tree? Doesn't make any sense. Okay.
Listen, you want to talk saga? I was with my wife last night. I was drinking some tea. I had a biscuit. I sagaed it in there. It was nice. It was a nice saga. It was
soggy
nice
and everything. It makes everything soggy. I put ice cubes in my cereal too. I don't know if you know about it. Oh, what is that, Mons? They do that in Europe? Okay, I'm not doing it anymore. I don't want to be confused with a saga fan. I'm not a big fan of the sagas. And also another thing with the 0-2. How do you say it's 2-0? You don't put the 0 first. Anybody who's watched sports, and if I'm wrong, you could tell me. I've been watching sports, okay, 60 years. I've never seen Mets nothing, Phillies 2 in my life. You don't do it. It's just not done. Mets 2, Phillies nothing is how you do it. Okay? I don't want to hear about this nil.
And none of this null crap.
Nil, null, nullos, no nullos. Hey, these people, it's a whole saga where they're cutting off their I can't say it on the air, you know what. So it gives some
sexual Monzes.
I do call Mons a dick quite often. That's good. An interchangeable word for penis now. Okay.
Great lengths to create a saga for every game, and that's hard to do because not every game's a saga. Some games are a saga. You had the saga of
I don't understand what he's talking about anymore.
S-A-G-A, Noah. S-A-G-A. It's
not a saga.
If I can interpret Mike speak, he's saying that some games are just regular games, and this documentary tried to make them all into like.
Yeah, it over dramatized some of these games where it's like this wasn't a legendary game. It was just like it was a game. It's fine.
Yeah, it wasn't a saga.
Okay.
So with that knowledge,
I don't think every game has a saga to it. It's really grueling to be that good for that long. That's really the saga. But they almost made it seem like every game had a saga to it.
It's looping now.
I see.
I think.
I don't know. I think that's just more.
Yeah, you're right.
Every game has a great storyline to it. Some of them are just final games. You know that? That have good endings, bad endings. Not every game has a saga to it. And it almost seemed like they tried to make...
Why does his logo not have a mouth? The most famous thing about him is his fucking mouth, and the logo doesn't have a mouth.
Yeah. You're right. Maybe he's like, get that mouth out of there.
Maybe
that mouth is a saga. Not every mouth has to be a saga.
Not every face has to have a mouth. Not every mouth has to have a saga. Back after this. Why? So maybe that thing that was. I thought it was his nose. Maybe that's his mouth, and it's just too high. And they were like, "Oh, we fucked up, but we only got enough budget to do one thing, so we can't fix it."
Oh my god.
Maybe he can only be the mouth in the room. Like he's so possessive.
Not even a cartoon mouth, please.
He can't even compete with himself.
Right.
Maybe the saga of this is that he talked so much that his mouth fell out.
Make it seem like every one of these games Even games that are 96-54 have a saga to them. No, they don't. They're blowouts.
Well,
they have a saga to them.
But that's the story.
They ran them out of the gym.
That's the
It
lowest
happens.
amount of points any
But not
team's
every
ever
game
scored
was
in
a
a
saga.
finals game. That's a saga right there.
He's
That's a
saying,
saga.
he's saying, in fact, forget that he's pronouncing it wrong. This is not what the word saga
Yeah.
means to begin with. Like, a saga is the whole story. It's
Yeah.
not like the narrative of the story. It's
Yeah.
the whole thing. So even if it has no, what he's calling a saga, it's still a saga.
Yeah.
It's just not an interesting one. You talk for a living. Why can't you just learn what words mean? And then pronounce them correctly. But first work on using the right word.
Baby steps.
Baby
Saga.
steps.
Saga. God.
Well, there's a few clips I wanted to play. This one is just audio only.
Yeah, I liked it. It was a good write. And then since this
Can we read what that text says?
It
Caller
says,
asked
amazing. Caller asked Mike Francesa if he's ever seen the movie Sleepers with Kevin Bacon and Robert De Niro. Mike thinks the guy made it up. He's always on high alert. He's always on high alert for sleep jokes. It's even
I think this was a
classic
sleep,
clip.
but this was a sleep joke. Like, he slipped in Sleepers to make fun of Mike Francesa, but the joke is Mike doesn't know that it's a real movie. But he's right that it's a sleep joke.
Oh my God.
Let's hear this.
Yeah, I liked it. It was a good write. And then since this pandemic, I've been working, so I've been happy. But the one movie.
Also, now I remember why I wanted to play this clip. Not necessarily because of the sleeper joke. This is the most Long Island talk show fucking accent I've ever heard. This
I've been working a lot. I mean, with the pandemic and everything.
I feel like we've played a clip from Mike Francesa where someone trolls him on the phone, and the guy sounded the same. It's like either the same guy keeps getting in again, and Mons doesn't write the phone number to block him, or everybody that calls the show sounds the same.
I was going to say, no, it's not the same guy, but it's the same guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Movie that I seen that I thought was really good years ago, and I'm just getting.
Let's go back.
I just
Yeah, I
wanted to
liked
say,
it.
I seen the movie Sleepers with Kevin Bacon, and I didn't really enjoy it. I fell asleep because there was no saga to it. I just didn't want to stay awake. And yeah.
Good, right. And then since this pandemic, I've been working, so I've been happy. But the one movie that I seen that I thought was really good years ago, and I'm just getting your opinion on it. What did you think of that movie? It came out in 1996 called Sleepers. Had Kevin Bacon, Robert De Niro. You know, it's an old one, but did you ever see Sleepers, and what'd you think of it? Just your opinion.
Never heard of it.
Oh, you got to look it up.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think there is such a movie. So, but that's okay. Rich in Tampa Bay, what's up, Rich?
That's his response. You can't be like, "Oh, you're making fun of me for sleeping." Like, he has to just say it doesn't exist.
I know.
And there's no way he didn't see that movie with that cast and that setting. He 100% saw that movie. He was invited to the premiere.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here, Mike.
I love Bacon response, but before this, here's like a super cut. We don't have to watch all of it of Mike talking about how great his seats were.
I'm not telling you I'm in the best seats. I never discuss where I sit unless somebody brings it up to me. I never ever bring it up ever.
What you talking about, mister?
I was sitting in the giant seats where, meaning the good giant seats where the family sits. Because I think, if I remember right in that game, Judy Parcells was sitting next to me, I believe. I could not see his leg.
Well,
who is Judy Parcells? For
Bill Parcells' his wife, the head coach.
I mean, you could be sitting in the nosebleeds. If Judy P is sitting next to you, those are the best seats in the house. That's a great, great lady.
What, she get hand jobs or something? What's so great about sitting next to her?
Best lasagna in the business.
I was sitting there. It was the third quarter. Giants are up 21-0. Boring game, no saga. And Judy reaches over. I'm like, "What are you doing? You're the coach's wife." And I'm like, she's just like, "Let it happen." So I'm like, "Okay, all right." She reaches in. She grabs the old brajol. One thing lets another. By the fourth quarter, my underwears are soaked. We're back after this.
so from where I was sitting. So I mean, I had a good seat, but it's just that sitting on my seat where it's always been the same right on the finish line. I thought Real Quiet had won. And, people talk about winning it, Real Quiet. I was sitting here on the finish line, and I thought Real Quiet had won. I mean, that's how close the race was. You're 0-0. The building very tense. I was in there. I was sitting right behind your bench. You're in there, game 7. I would say he didn't. You guys can remember, look it up and see if he did. I don't remember. I was sitting right behind the plate, but with Dog, I don't remember if he gave up a run. I was right there in Arizona, sitting in the second row, game 7, 8th inning. 1, 2, 3, struck out the side, gave up a single.
This is the best Twitter account. Also, could you imagine? You really have to hand it to what kind of reach Mike Francesa has for him to have such an audience that people are so familiar with him that to work on a supercut like this.
His audience knows him better than he knows himself. It seems.
Yes,
for sure.
I wasn't going to play this, but I saw this as a response to this. To that tweet, it says, Pete in the Bronx, who averaged 40 points per game at St. John's and had an audition with the Knicks, wants to talk to Mike Francesa about gay players in the NBA.
This is a classic one.
Whoa.
And it is Pride Month, so this is...
Pete in the Bronx. What's up, Pete?
Hey.
Yes, Pete.
I had a question in regards to the NBA, like gay players in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that
I
they're
have
not
to
allowed
say, right now, just hearing this caller's voice, the tension in my body is like watching a horror movie and knowing there's a murderer on the other side of the door. And I'm like, no!
The murderer's name is Mike Francesa, about to murder the English language.
play. So I was thinking...
Wait, start again.
I had a question and wanted to talk about gay players in the NBA.
Right.
And how the WNBA ticket sales are struggling, and how both forces can join together to make the ticket sales increase in the WNBA, since gay players are not allowed to play
Can
in
you
the
pause
NBA.
it for a second?
Whoever told you that?
I just want to give another note to Mons. Please tell callers to turn their radio down before you put them on air.
Seriously.
Good point. Yes, exactly.
Basically, there's a lot of discrimination. In fact,
Really, how would you and explain to me, Pete, how are they deciding that someone's gay in the NBA?
Whenever there's any...
Oh.
How do they know? What do they put a camera in their hotel room?
What are they doing? Are they asking them to take it up the brush hole?
Basically, Mike is implying that there's a don't ask, don't tell policy, and that's fine. So what's the problem?
Discrimination, in fact.
Really, how would you and explain to me, Pete, how are they deciding that someone's gay in the NBA?
Whenever there's any media circles going around gay players, for some strange reason, people just never seem to back them up or support them.
Well, you think you know who? What makes you think you know what players are gay?
I actually auditioned for the Knicks a couple years ago, and basically I never got a call back, and I was discriminated against.
Oh, really? Where'd you play college ball?
I played college at St. John's.
At St. John's?
St. John's, yes.
Oh, you did?
Say that again?
So what's your name again, full name?
Oh, what? This is uncomfortable. This is so uncomfortable.
Yeah,
you did? Oh, yeah? Oh. What are your credentials?
Well, Mike is an alum of St. John's, so he knows every single player who's ever played. He'd instantly be able to sniff out a fake. That's what's happening.
My name
I don't even believe this guy's gay. Mons, get his number and see if he'll give me oral to prove himself. I don't believe this. I think this is one of those losers that hangs on the air for. They call the phone for 90 minutes to try to talk to him. He's not really gay.
It sounds like he's one of those gay for pay guys where he'll only do a little blowy if you give him $20. I mean, not that listen, hey, $20 is $20, but
I mean, I am worth a fortune. How do you think I got that way? Anyway.
And how many points did you average at St. John's?
Like 40 points a game.
Oh, okay. So really, you forgot that that's my alma.
That's the one. That's what he's the most offended by. That he lied about stats.
Yeah.
You couldn't possibly have 40 points.
What are you, Michael Jordan?
Oh,
how many points did you average at St. John's?
Like 40 points a game.
Oh, okay. So really, okay. You forgot that that's my alma mater.
Oh my God! Play that again. Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay. Please play that again.
And how many points did you average at St. John's?
Like 40 points a game.
Oh, okay. So really, okay. You forgot.
Really?
Well, listen.
It's like that. It's like that sound effect that we would play on the show of him just like mumbling.
Yeah, it's totally
Sounds like
that
he's
same
coming.
affectation.
That's my alma mater, I hope. You know, so, pick a school. Why don't you pick a school somewhere obscure? You picked St. John's University. I mean, it only went there. He scored 40 points a game.
Well, you weren't there when Pete was
must have missed
playing,
those
Mike.
games.
You're
He
106
scored
Yeah.
40
years
points a
old.
game.
He still gets the newsletters, Darren. Be respectful. He knows. He would know. Oh, what is this screen cap? He looks like a pissy teenage girl. What is going on?
This is the shot from when he was told that guy scored 40 points a game. No, I don't think so.
Oh my God.
Well, this one seems more sports related. It says Mike Francesa discusses potential FSU Maryland matchup in the 2017 NCAA tournament and somehow manages to break down the game for more than 2 minutes, despite clearly knowing nothing about either team.
Oh my
But-
God.
Do we want to hear that one?
I think this one seems more every week during the NFL season. Mike Francesa can't believe what week it is.
All right. We have already hit week 2 here. It goes very fast. Before you know it, we'll be down the line. We'll be talking about week 5 and week 8 and week 10. It's amazing how fast
Yes,
this
that's
league
how math
goes.
works. Thank
Week
you.
5, amazingly, goes flying along. We're in the month of October in the league where we play for pay.
That is
you know what
the
happens
lamest
after week
fucking
5?
catchphrase. Ugh.
That's week 6.
Like my call of Pete. This is game for pay. This is pay for play.
Week 6 already, so fast. Week 7 already, believe it or not. Already, believe it or not.
This is me
Week number 8.
trying to figure
as we-
out time during the pandemic, basically.
Yes.
I can relate.
To the quarantine now, so
There's-
fast it goes so quick.
There are some days where I wake up and I'm like, wait, what day is it? Is it Saturday?
I
know
read
it's
5
Tuesday.
of quarantine already?
There was a survey that was like 80% of Americans have had trouble remembering what day it is.
Yeah.
That's insane.
We say goodbye to October for a week of, believe it or not, number 9 as we make the transition.
I don't
week
believe it.
10 already. It's amazing, huh? You say it every year. You get back after, you take off the end of the summer like everybody does. You get back for Labor Day and you say how fast it goes. It goes so fast. I mean, it's already Thanksgiving next week. It's crazy. And they're predicting
It's
snow
crazy
tomorrow.
time moving in the exact same way that it does at all times since the creation of the universe. It's just insane. This reminds me of when they played that music, like he gets into his football picks and spiel, and he goes da 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 da, and it's like that. It just I think I've talked about this on the show before, but there's a show called Fred's Pro Football Picks, and it's on the public access channel here in New York, and it's just this 60-year-old drummer in a band, hippie Guido, who's now a Trump supporter, who he goes through all the football picks, just holding the newspaper. He's got a blackboard. He writes the over, whatever it is. I'm picking the Jets. And then they have all these inside jokes and memes that make no sense. And he goes off on these tangents. And he's got a couple of other Guido guys there. And he's got a broad with a bikini on or something. And it's the funny, I keep meaning to pull audio from it. It's just hard because
Can you record it off your TV or something?
I'd have to sit there and hold my phone up to it. But it's a real pain in the ass. That's why I haven't done it. You would all lose your mind. It's so fucking funny. It's hilarious. I'll have to get on that. But it just reminds me of Mike Francesa doing his football picks because he's that guy. He's a little more polished, but not much. There's a parts in there where he goes off on Trump rants too. He'll just be talking about something and he'll relate it to Trump.
Oh my God!
I remember there was one during the campaign, in 2016, and he goes, Trump, Trump, Trump. That's what we need. And I was anytime someone would say the word Trump, I would hear that guy's voice in my head go, Trump, Trump, Trump. That's what we need. Which I'm sure is a drop of me saying that now. Good job. Mike.
No, I think we've had enough of Mike. We've had enough of Mike.
Never.